I'm really honored to have attorney Frank Saccoccio here with us. He's been doing this for over 20 years. He's one of about 5 attorneys, in my estimations, in Rhode Island that handles unemployment specifically. It's a niche. Can you let us know exactly what the problem is here? Kind of give us a view from 10,000 feet.
Yes, the Department of Health has put in new regulations with regard to just to healthcare workers with regard to the COVID mandate. And they've taken out completely the religious exemption, and they've heavily modified the section with regard to medical exemptions, making it so narrow that very few, if not almost no one, qualifies for the medical exemption. And if you don't follow their mandate, you don't get it, you're not allowed to work.
The medical exemption, why would somebody, what types of situations would somebody be able to use a medical exemption?
If you have a prior medical condition which would be negatively affected by you taking the COVID-19 vaccination, or you have a certain types of anaphylactic reaction to certain medications, if your doctor, in his or her medical opinion, states that you shouldn't take it, the Department of Health should recognize that and should actually sit there and say, maybe the person that's making that recommendation, that doctor, maybe that doctor has been your primary care physician 20, 30 years. They know everything about you. They're the ones that should be making that decision. Instead, the Department of Health has put a line in their medical exemption to say they get the final say whether you get an exemption or not.
So now you mentioned a little bit earlier about the religious exemptions. Can you explain about what the religious exemption is and how are they getting past this?
In the past, there's always been a religious exemption with regard to certain medications and vaccines. So what happens is if you have an internal belief and this belief, your religious beliefs are being violated because you believe that you shouldn't take this the vaccination, you could fill out a form. You could do this in the past. You could request that you be exempt from this. And in the past, they've done this. So recently, with regard to COVID-19, that entire section has been removed. So there is no religious exemption. There's no appeal. There's no alternative for you. Your religious rights have been completely removed, completely, by the Department of Health.
Federal court judge Mary McElroy, she stated that it was within the state's power to order firefighters and registered nurses to get the vaccine as a condition of employment. So when a federal judge does this and states this, how are we going to be able to work against that? How are we going to be able to fight against that?
You continue fighting through the process. There have been several federal district court judges that have issued rulings that have later on appeal in front of the Supreme Court have been overturned.
Yeah.
So you have to keep fighting on that. There has to be someone who is some of these judges that are not afraid of their job and actually are not cowards, that would actually stand up and say, there has to be some religious accommodations. You can't sit there and say your rights don't exist anymore.
Agreed.
So the answer is keep fighting it.